Let's go ahead here and go Quick Ball away a Water Energy. Melony is going to allow us to draw some cards, then we'll use this for either Drizzile or whatever we get off Melony. We just want to see what we get off Melony first before we determine what's going on. So let's see. Melony, we did get the other energy, so there's that. We don't need to search out anything with Drizzile. We're going to give our opponent the well played. And we could just go for the max Lance here for the knockout.
You are now watching Zach Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it!
Yo, what's poppin' peeps? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. We're going to be covering over another Brilliant Stars deck profile, and this one's going to be on Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Now, Ice Rider Calyrex, all about the Ride of the High King, doing max Lance, and it has Melony, so you can kind of accelerate those energies to it. With Choice Belt being added into this deck, and Ultra Ball allowing you to have extra outs to discarding water energies for Melony, this deck has reached new heights. Currently ranked within the top 5 decks at the time of the video, this deck really seems like it's neutral in the metagame and it can kind of handle everything approaching it. The list is available in the description. You can copy and paste that right into PTCGO. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow, all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments what you think about Ice Rider. At least just give me a thumbs up or something. It does help boost the YouTube algorithm. It really does. If you are trying to pick up any of the cards in this deck, go to PTCGOstore.com, plug in code ZLesage5, pick up some codes. You can go to AtlasCollectibles.com, plug in code ZLesage8, save 8% off your Pokemon TCG singles. You can go to Metafy.gg/@ZachLesage, pick up a Pokemon TCG coaching session with me if you're looking to improve your game. Going over the deck, strategy, gameplay, all that good stuff. Stay tuned for more. Let's jump into the deck list. Alright, here's what we got going on with the deck list. Like I said, you're going to be using Ride of the High King and looking at your opponent's bench. If you're able to get the knockout, by all means, Ride of the High King is going to be more efficient than Max Lance because you're not discarding energies. Sometimes it is advantageous to discard energies because you want to have access to Melony to draw cards. Keep in mind that if you don't have energies in your discard pile, you can't use Melony to use Melony and draw some cards. Just a fun fact. When players play this deck, you want to be able to determine if you're using Ride of the High King or Max Lance. My whole premise is if you're using Ride of the High King, you're either getting the knockout with Ride of the High King or you're doing chip damage. With Max Lance, pretty much you're only doing chip damage, or you're in a position where you need to get water energy in the discard pile to use for a future Melony. That's really the big thing. Now, Max Lance does hit for 10 plus 120 plus 120, which is 250. With Choice Belt, that does do 280, enough to knock out an Arceus VSTAR. And with Leon, you could do 310, which is enough to knock out a Mew VMAX, which does help with the matchup tremendously. You have Path to the Peak to kind of run your opponent around, and they might not have abilities. You have no abilities that you're using because you're using Shady Dealings to search things out, and you could have additional damage output when it comes to quick shooting Inteleon. Overall, this deck's pretty cool. You even have Raihan if you need to attack with something like an Inteleon's Aqua Bullet or Waterfall, but this deck's really just a basic beat-em-up deck. And I do think that Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX is well positioned in this metagame to a certain degree. It's not necessarily going to outright beat anything. It's not necessarily going to outright lose anything. It's more of a neutral pick in the meta. Like I said, the list is in the description. You copy paste it right into PTCGO, PTCG Live. We'll see how many games we get to. I really just want to show you what the strategy of this deck is. And if you need to see anything more than that, go to Metafy and pick up a coaching session. Or ask me in the comments. Either or works. Let's jump into some gameplay. We just won the flip. We do want to go first with this deck. Going second with this deck is not as great because we can't evolve, but you can use Keep Calling. So the whole goal is for us to kind of start rolling with the Ice Rider as soon as possible. Let's see what we're playing against. And I don't know, we'll see what we're playing against. Okay, cool. We're playing against some kind of Arceus deck, which seems pretty cool for us. I think what I'm going to be doing here first is going for a Level Ball. Level Ball seems like a solid enough choice. We can go for Sobble. Now, I'm debating if I want to play the Quick Ball if we draw into a Water Energy, a Capacious Bucket, anything else like that. Just so we have outs to getting out an Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX or anything else like that. I do want to discard a Water Energy if possible, so we can do things. I'm not sure if it's going to be entirely possible here, although I do want to keep it open. So let's go ahead, go like this. We're just going to go ahead and I guess we could always draw into a Drizzile as well. Maybe it's better just for us to go like this, and we might not necessarily get the Melony out. We're going to pitch away the Marnie. You want to know what? I'm just on the fly. We're going to go for the Sobble. This should be an okay matchup for us as long as we're able to get set up. As long as it's the right Arceus matchup, we're going to see exactly how it's going. But let's see what our opponent does this game. Cool. I'm totally fine with a Marnie because we might get Melony, we might get Ice Rider Calyrex. We could get a better hand to get an attack off in this situation. And we did get Quick Ball, we did get Level Ball, so it looks like we are going to be able to just knock out our opponent, showing how vicious our deck is. So let's go ahead here and go Quick Ball away a Water Energy. And we're just going to go ahead and grab something simple like another Sobble. I mean, Sobble seems great. We don't look like we're getting knocked out here. We are going to go here, search our deck with Level Ball. We might not necessarily get it. We still have to figure this out. Let's go Level Ball here first using Drizzile. We're going to search our deck for a Melony. Melony is going to allow us to draw some cards. Then we'll use this for either Drizzile or whatever we get off Melony. We would just want to see what we get off Melony first before we determine what's going on. Because you can't necessarily predict what you're going to draw. So that's why you would use Melony first before Shady Dealings when possible. So let's see. Melony, we did get the other energy, so there's that. We don't need to search out anything with Drizzile. We're going to give our opponent the well played. And we could just go for the max Lance here for the knockout. Just ripping our opponent to shreds here. Turn 2. Another coin flip, another day. We're going to call heads here, and we lost the coin flip. That's okay. If we go second, going Keep Calling is really good for this deck. Really not too bad, as long as we get a Sobble in our active spot. We could either start with Ice Rider or start with Sobble. Fingers crossed that we're going to actually start off here with Sobble. There's Sobble, there's Energy, there's Ice Rider. I'm a happy Zach. This actually seems pretty good as long as we're playing against an okay matchup. So we're going to start with a single Sobble. Don't bench your other Pokemon. I cannot stress that enough. And it looks like we're playing against Ice Rider Mirror. This might be really tough for us, but we do have access to maybe Choice Belt. We'll have to play it out and see where we get. Let's go like this, and we're just going to go with Keep Calling here overall. Keep Calling seems like the absolute best play. We don't need to search through anything else. So Keep Calling, Sobble, Sobble, Sobble. And we'll see what our opponent does. Like, if they have Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, Boss, Energy, we're going to be in trouble because they're just going to wipe this out and it's going to be a tough time. If they just go Energy, Pass, we're chilling. There's an Ultra Ball. I mean, so far so good for our opponents. It's going to be a back and forth battle of the Ice Riders. Please don't go Boss's Orders, Max Lance. I mean, at least if we lose this game, or at least if we're put behind, it shows what Ice Rider can do against Ice Rider. Like, are you serious? The Ice Rider Boss, there's no point of it. Like, we still can jump back into this game, but it's not looking particularly great. I'm just going to send up the Sobble with the Energy. They can't go Boss and everything else. You see, we would have had so much more going on for us. Let's just go for the Evolution Incense, search our deck for a Drizzile. And since we have Scoop Up Net, we can kind of get 2 off here. I know we definitely want to get out a Quick Ball, so we can search out another Ice Rider. So let's go Quick Ball. At this point, I'm okay to discard... I'm okay to discard a Switch. I don't think we need Switch right now. I'm just going to grab another Ice Rider there. I'm going to grab a Water Energy. Or at least a couple Water Energies so we could build this up there. They can't go Boss again, so we're just going to go ahead, build that up. And I think what we want to do is maybe just leave this Drizzile for next turn. I don't think there's anything else that we really want to do. Actually, we probably want to keep the Drizzile there. So let's just go like this. I think we probably need to play a Marnie, or maybe we need to play Melony. Probably just going for a Marnie, actually. We can't really get everything that we want with our hand, and we don't want to pitch things away. And maybe our opponent has nothing else, so let's roll with it. We need to try to get off some quick shooting Leon type damage. You can see we're not necessarily getting what we want here, but we can put another Ice Rider down. So let's roll with it. They might play Luminion or Crobats, so let's put that down. We don't. And there's no point of us doing Keep Calling. We're just going to pass here and end our turn. Now, we'll see what our opponent's doing. Like this, a lot of the Inteleon matchups can be defined by if you're able to get out Inteleons or anything else sooner than your opponent. Training Court's definitely an interesting tech. Looks like they are going to go with some kind of Crobat, so I was right, or Luminion. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just went ahead and knocked out our Sobble. We're also going to be struggling a little bit here because we don't really have much going on. We are looking for a little bit more than what we currently have. So we'll have to see how it plays out for us. As you can see, this deck is fragile. Sometimes you're gonna get Marnied into something, but I mean, we might be able to just take out this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX at some points, including next turn, if we draw into the right combination of cards. Not sure if we'll draw into the right combination of cards, but we're gonna try our best. Okay, let's send this up and see what we get. We did get a level ball, so I mean, the level ball does allow us to get as close as possible. I think what I'm going to be doing here is going Drizzile like this, evolving, searching my deck for an Evolution Incense. So we're going to try something out a little bit different here. We're going to go like this. I'm going to go for Evolution Incense for a Shady Dealings Inteleon. We're going to go Shady Dealings Inteleon, search our deck for a Leon. I think Leon sounds really good. And we probably want something for next turn. I'm not sure how we're going to be able to get out of this situation. Maybe Escape Rope. But let's just go for Professor. Let's go for Melony, actually. I think Melony might be a little bit better next turn. At this point, we do want to play Leon. So let's go ahead. Water Energy there so we can get our attack off. We're going to go for Leon here. Let's go Path into play so our opponent doesn't necessarily have anything, especially if they have another Lumineon or Crobat or something else like that. And we are going to do Max Lance for the 310 damage. We're 10 damage short of a knockout, but if we are able to get anything, we can get a quick shooting Inteleon out. And before people are like, you could have got quick shooting with Inteleon there, we wouldn't have been able to get the Leon to get to the 310. So it does show like how the numbers can work out and that what is achievable. I mean, our opponent did get a bit of a hot start, but maybe we're going to be able to go Escape Rope, Melony, Attack kind of vibes, and see exactly what's going on there. There's a lot of things that we might be able to do in this matchup. That's pretty cool. So let's see our opponent. Oh, with the Pumpkaboo. What an interesting list of Ice Rider. And there's Research, yeah. So we might struggle a little bit, especially if they are able to find another boss. But we'll try our best here. We need a lot for next turn. And when I say a lot, we do need a lot. But it doesn't look like our opponent's going to be able to win this turn. They don't have the quick shooting. They don't have a choice belt. They do not have the Leon. Things like that. That would be very difficult for us to deal with. And we might be able to just like clean things up with a fresh Ice Rider. Oh, they're playing the Arceus build. Interesting. Makes a lot more sense. I wouldn't be surprised if we also saw Bidoof hit the floor. I know that a lot of builds with Arceus are playing Bidoof as well. And by no means is this particular matchup any kind of bearing on how things are playing out. I think it's one of those things where we're just... sometimes PTCGO ladder games be like this. But our deck's working as designed, hitting the numbers that we are trying to design it to. We're just struggling a little bit. Because our opponent got such a good start, why did they have to go turn 2 boss energy knockouts? Otherwise, this game would have been in the bag, I swear. So there's Max Lance. They might have boss in hand, and they might just be able to boss energy Lumineon on us. That might be really tough. And that's one of the reasons why we're not going to attack with this one. We're going to build up the one on the bench. We might miss this, and it might be bad. But our best chance and only chance seems to be attacking with this one and getting Escape Rope. So let's go Melony here. I mean, that does work out pretty decently, I'm not going to lie. Let's go Quick Shooting overall. So we could draw our 3 prize cards. So you can see that we're doing some pretty cool stuff. Quick Shooting, knockouts. Let's draw our 3 prize cards. Okay. Got some stuff going on here. So, yep. And I think what we're going to be doing is going like this. Actually, let's just go for Level Ball for Drizzile first. And we're going to go for Escape Rope. And let's see what our opponent decides to send up. I mean, best case scenario is they attack with the Lumineon. Send up the Lumineon. Please, please, please. Okay, so they're going to send up the Arceus. And that might be tough for us to deal with. Right now they have 1, 2, 3, 4. There are some things that we might be able to do next turn. We'll try to see what we get there when we get there. Let's go Evolution Incense here. We're going to search our deck for an Ice Rider Calyrex. There's nothing really else that we can get from our deck. So we're just going to go for the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX now. We can't necessarily just get a knockout on this Arceus. So I think what we're going to have to do... Actually, they could just go Starbirth, so I think we're forced into getting the knockout here. So let's just go Choice Belts. And since Ride of the High King's not going to get it, we're just going to go for Max Lance and roll with it. So yeah, I'm just worried that our opponent can go Starbirth with Arceus VSTAR, Boss's Orders, knockouts our Ice Rider on the bench, and win the game. So we might struggle a little bit here, but we're going to try our best to not struggle as much. Yeah, there's the Lumineon, so I think we're going to be very... Yeah, there's the Boss's Orders. We're going to give our opponent the well played. They're going to attack with the fish, or at least they should. Yeah, there's that. There's the Lumineon getting the knockout. We brought it as close as possible, but we did play everything that we possibly could as well as possible. Sometimes you're just going to get those rough starts, or your opponent's going to get a bit of a better start. Like I said, close games with Ice Rider overall. And that's what we got going on for this video today, peeps. Hopefully you enjoyed learning a little bit more about this deck profile. And I mean, Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, great choice. You can see in both games, even though we were playing against Mirror in that last one, Ice Rider showed you what it could do just turn 2. In the first game that we played, we were able to just go knock out our opponent's Pokemon very quickly. Max Lance is an incredibly efficient attack, and it's incredibly powerful with Melony. I personally like this build more than I like the Arceus build, so it's something that I would consider if you're not necessarily sure, or maybe you're newer to the game. There's a lot of things that are great about this deck. It's not super complex, but it's complex enough where it's interesting. I have a soft spot for Ice Rider. I did play it to the Players' Cup Invitational, where I came 5th place with it, so it was really cool. And it's nice to see it back in the metagame. So let me know if you like this Brilliant Stars deck profile in the comments below. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, that'd be absolutely sick. Give the video a like. Let me know in the comments if you like Ice Rider. If you don't, like I said, spark a discussion. Even just say hi. Anything helps with the YouTube algorithm. And we're trying to get to the next stage. We're 10.3k subs. Let's try to push it to like 11k and keep on climbing and keep on climbing. If you're trying to pick up any of the cards for this deck, like I said, you can go to PTCGO plug in code Drizzile SHF to save 5% on your next order of codes. You can go to AtlasCollectibles.com, plug in code Drizzile SHF to save 8% on your next order of Pokemon TCG singles. And you can always pick up a Pokemon TCG coaching session with me at metafy.gg/@ZachLesage. I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great one. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video and have yourself a great day. Thanks.